I'm Boris. I was born and raised in Russia. And
for many years
in Russia, I've gotten to know it, how real life and study in Russia looks like. What is behind of beautiful picture of Moscow and St. Petersburg, and most importantly, why I will never stay here. So, let's go. And Happy New Year, everyone. Make a gift to a beginner channel, subscribe and like. I want to talk about the general state of cities in Russian. For example, in America or in Europe, most of non-capital countries look acceptable and beautiful, even comparable to starting country in Russia. All the opposite, capital Moscow and culture capital of St. Petersburg. Petersburg look very beautiful in winter and summer, and regions that is almost all other cities look not very dirty in all present. By the way, you know why I recently said winter and summer is beautiful? Because in spring and fall everywhere is shit in the literal sense of snow melts or rains come, and all the supposedly beautiful picture is washed away in puddles mood and slash. And the main disadvantage associated with the weather is that the sun here is very, and sometimes it looks depressive when you go to walk to school at 8 AM in the morning and it's dark outside. School ends at 15 o'clock and it's already dark outside. In general unpleasant, but I mentioned only the weather. But we also have architecture left over from the USSR, broken roads and garbage on the street. All these creators are special kind of city, but most people under stability don't like. But sometimes this environment can attract with its originality and mystery. And by the way, this video is no way directed against Russia, because I was born and raised here and I love Russian culture and everything Russian. In this video I'm simply pointing out real problems in Russia, but in any case I want to go to America. I hope that tells you something. The next thing I want to tell you about is salaries. The average salary in Russia is 100,000 rubles or $1,100, but the range is from 14,000 rubles, $430 in Ingushetia, to 200,000 rubles, $2,200 in Moscow, 2,200 bucks in Moscow. Such a gap makes some regions very poor, and especially pensioners who are becoming more and more, because young and skillful Russians are leaving, but the old, not able to work generation remains, whose pensions are one of the smallest in the world, namely 23,500 rubles to 25,100 rubles per month, or $260–290 per month. That's how hard it's for pensioners to survive. And now the most important thing is the banned sanctions and the Iron Curtain in Russia. Since you know, when Russia has become one of the most sanctioned countries in the world, what happened to the internet in Russia because of sanctions? Please don't think this question is strange or stupid, because you might think what could possibly do the internet in such a big country. It's not small republic in the middle of Africa where the internet is periodically shut off. Access to all foreign services is blocked. There are not other working alternatives, and the internet just getting more and more expensive. No, of course no, this is Russia. Look how big it is. But actually, yes. I've just described everything that happened to the internet in Russia over the past year. I will start with the most painful thing for me: blocking YouTube. Russian authorities, under the pretext of slowing down servers, cut off traffic delivery through YouTube in Russia. And YouTube effectively stopped working in Russia forever. But I think the question is already come up for you. Why are we watching you on YouTube right now? And how did you upload this video? I will answer. It's simple. We Russians will find a way out of any situation, and now every responsible person in Russia has downloaded a VPN, just in case this is a service that substitutes the source of traffic. And now Russian bloggers suddenly have an audience from Germany, the Netherlands, and so on. Europeans learned Russian pretty fast, didn't they? And now every responsible person in Russia download a VPN. The Russian authorities continued blocking YouTube, and now it's forbidden to talk anywhere on the internet about VPNs. Like this. That's how it is. And by the way, that leads to another thing. If you want to use VPN normally, you have to pay money. And there are very few good VPNs because they are all being gradually blocked, keeping crashing all the time. And what about shutting down the internet? It sounds insane. Let's go into it. You already know why drones carrying something explosive have been reaching central Russia. And because of the constant attacks, communication jammers are turned on. The jammers operate on frequencies similar to those used by mobile phones in Russia. And as a result, we end up with no internet. But you might say, just go home and connect to Wi-Fi. What's the problem? Well, there is a problem. Whitelists. The government has introduced their whitelists, and now during shutdowns, which happen very often, the whitelists kick in. Only a specific set of websites is accessible, and it's so small, you will be shocked. Basically only government websites and a few life survives like delivery apps, plus a very bad YouTube substitute. Of course, all of them have to be Russian made. That's how it is. The Iron Curtain is slowly coming down. What happened to global brands in Russia? We don't have the original cola, and most of us covered foreign products, no Apple, no, and the rest of the American big tech companies, they simply left in place. With them left IKEA, McDonald's, Mercedes-Benz, BMW, and so on. Of course, I miss the companies and the products very much because of my little life. I did not have them. Also, I like to steal a little something. And was, for example, cola. As soon as she left, we have on the shelves in stores appeared good cola and thousands of other variations of this drink. Apple, when he left, all tech sellers in Russia started importing. Apple throws parallel imports so successfully that Russian tech bloggers got new unreleased MacBooks months before they were released to the public. McDonald's, immediately after he left all McDonald's outlets in Russia, just changed their logos to Tasty and Dot and painted over all the McDonald's logos on the food. In general, almost everything could be replaced, redesigned and adapted. Possible to return this strange feeling available only to Slavs is the love for everything foreign. So I'm so driven to the US, across the ocean to other continent on the other side of planet. Bye bye.